Good morning, second grade. Mrs. Nolhoff here. I want you guys to go grab your math books. We are going to be working on Chapter 5, Lesson 3 today. You need to turn to page 307 in your book, and you need to make sure that you have a pencil ready to go. We are going to start with a quick video to introduce our topic today.
Place value to 1,000. Place value tells the value of a digit in a number. 213 has 2 hundreds, 1 10, and 3 ones. When we write a number in expanded form, we show the value of each digit. 200 plus 10 plus 3 is 213. Let's write 100, 4 tens, and 9 ones in expanded form. What do we write in the first blank? 100. How do we write 4 tens? 40. How do we write 9 ones? We write 9. How do we write the number? 1, 4, 9 is correct. What is the sum of these numbers? 149.
All right, so please be on page 307. We are going to be working on expanded form today. So that's going to be a vocabulary word that you're going to hear a lot. It's called expanded form. So basically you're taking a number and you're expanding it out into its actual place values, and then we're going to put it back together. Okay, so our very first part has us rolling a dice and then putting the numbers in our squares. Okay, so I'm going to roll the dice, and whatever number pops up, we're going to put it under the hundreds place. So my dice is 2. So we're going to add the number 2 right here in our hundreds place. I'm going to roll again and put it under the tens place. I got a 1. So we're going to put 1 there in our tens place. And then our next number is a 4. We'll put a 4 in our ones place. So what we're going to do is we're going to expand that number out into its place values. So each digit has its actual place value. So if I look at this number 2, its actual place value stands for 200. Sorry about my handwriting, it's a little tough to do this. And then if I look at the 1, the place value that stands for that 1 is a 10. And then if I look at my 4, the place value of that 4 in the ones place is just a 4. So I'm expanding my number out into each of its place values, and then I'm going to put it back together. So 200 plus 10 plus 4 equals 214. All right, please go ahead and turn to the back side of that page. Oh, give me 1 minute to reload my page. All right, so go ahead and turn to the back side. So now we are looking at page 308, okay? Get this all fixed. All right, so at the very top in our guided practice, it says place value tells the value of a digit in a number. To write a number in expanded form, show the value of each digit. So if I'm looking at this very first example of 213, I'm going to expand that number out by putting the place value of each number, okay? So if I'm looking at the place value of the 2 in the hundreds place, I know that equals 200. If I'm looking at the value of the 1 in the tens place, I know that equals 10. And if I'm looking at the value of the 3 in the ones place, we know that is 3. So I expanded that number out, and now I'm going to put it back together. So that number is 213. Okay, you do have your helpful hint here, which is what Mrs. Nolhoff has been saying. When you write a number in expanded form, you show the value of each digit. Okay, so now we're going to get a little practice in it right here. It says write each number in expanded form, then write the number. Okay, so first, we're going to look at this first part. It says 100. So we're going to write that value. We're going to write 100. And then our next one says 4 tens. And if you don't know what 4 tens is, you could hold up 4 fingers and you could count by 10 4 times. So 10, 20, 30, 40. So we know 4 tens is 40. That's the value. And then 9 ones is just like counting up 9 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So now I've expanded my number out. It's 100 plus 40 plus 9. Those are the values of each one of those numbers. Now, if I put that number together, the number would be 149. Again, sorry about my handwriting. It's hard to do. All right, so let's look at number 2. It says 300, 2 tens, and 5 ones. So let's look at our 300s first. If you aren't sure what that is, you could hold up 3 fingers and you could skip count by 100. So 100, 200, 300. So we're going to write 300 right there. If we have 2 tens and we aren't sure, we can skip count by 2 times. 10, 20. And then when we focus on our ones, it's just like counting up by ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we have our number in expanded form. We've expanded out. Now we want to put it together. So our number is 325. And again, all that this is showing you is that each number has a value. So when I look at 325, that 3 actually stands for 300. The 2 actually stands for 2 tens, and the 5 stands for 5 ones. Okay? All right, let's look at number 3. We have 500. So 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. That's my first number. And then I have 7 tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. And then I have 1 1. So they're showing you the value of each number by expanding it out. And now we need to put it together. So the number that it would be 500 plus 70 plus 1 would be 571. Again, all they're showing you is that the 5 stands for 500, the 7 stands for 7 tens or 70, and the 1 stands for 1. All right, let's talk math. It says, how are 562 and 265 the same? Well, if you look at those two numbers, they're the same because they have the same digits in them. But how are they different? Well, they're different because if you were to draw your chart over here on this side, oopsies, let me go down. I'm going to have to make this bigger for you guys. All right, there we go. If we make a chart, my pen back, and put our numbers in there, our hundreds, tens, and ones. 5 would go in the hundreds place, so that means 500. 6 would go in the tens place, so that means 60. And 2 would go in the ones place, so that means 2. And this number, our second number, the 2 would go in the hundreds place, so this one would equal 200. The 6 would go in the tens place, so that would equal 60. And the 5 would go in the ones place, so that would equal 5. So yes, they are the same because they have the same digits, but they're very much different because they aren't equal. The 5 in this number would be just a 5, and the 5 in the other one would be 500. So as you can see, the values of the number, the place value of each digit is super important for us to understand so that we understand the value of each number and how it works and how it relates to math. Okay, now you guys are going to be on your own to start your independent practice, okay? So if you look at number 4, you will notice we're doing the very same thing that we just did in our guided practice for 4 and 5. 6 and 7, they want you to look at the green digit and tell me the value of that number. So does the 9 mean 900, 90, or 9? And the 3 in this number, does it mean 300, 30, or 3? On 8, 9, and 10, you're going to put your numbers together. So they've expanded it out for you, and you're going to put it together. And then on number 12 is the opposite. They have the number put together, 254, and you are going to actually expand it out for them. Okay? All right, before you get started, I actually want you to jump to your word problems. We're going to go ahead and work through number 14 and number 16 together. And then I'm going to have you guys go off on your own to do independent practice in 15 and 17 in your homework on your own. Okay? So let's look at number 14. It says, the number of raisins in a box has 4 in the ones place, 2 in the hundreds place, and 5 in the ones place. How many raisins are in the box? The most important thing to do here is to draw out the chart I just showed you a little bit earlier when we were doing talk math. You want to draw out your hundreds, your tens, and your ones. And then you want to place those numbers in there. So it says the number of raisins in a box has a 4 in the ones place. So we're going to put a 4 in the ones place. A 2 in the hundreds place. So we'll put a 2 in the hundreds place. And a 5 in the tens place. So we're going to put a 5 in the tens place. How many raisins are in the box? Well, now we know. It's 254. Okay. You will be doing number 15 on your own. We're going to do one brain builder together, and then you're going to try one brain builder on your own. All right, this one says, Lewis wrote a story. The number of pages in his story has 17 tens and 9 ones. He wrote the number as 791 to show the number of pages. Is Lewis correct? So like I said before, let's draw out our chart. So we know that he said there are 17 tens and 9 ones. Okay, and there are 0 hundreds. So to find out this 10 number, probably the easiest way for you to do it if you just don't know is to skip count by 10 17 times. So let's do it on our fingers. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170. So they're actually saying that he has 170 and 9 ones. So that would be our expanded form. So what is 170 plus 9? Well, if we put our number together, it would be 179. So it asks us, he wrote the number 791 to show the number of pages. Is Lewis correct? No, Lewis is not correct. And we know he's not correct because 17 tens is 170. Okay? All right. So here's what I would like for you to do. I would like for you to go finish 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And to work through pages or numbers 15 and 17 in your book, and then to complete your homework. Your teacher will be on your Google Meet if you have any further questions about this lesson. Bye, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.